FIDE Master John Curtis, and here we go. We're playing our Women's International Master, and her name is SvetlaYordanova. She's from Bulgaria, rating 2252, and we're going to go into game one. And play 3 games against Svetla, and she's a handy player, but I think she's just had a bad day here, because she was keen to play me again and again. I did accept her challenges, but I just had that feeling that she was off song, and that happens to all players. But let's have a look at the games anyway. So it's Australia versus Bulgaria, Women's International Master, SvetlaYordanova, titled player, and I'm sure she's a lot better than what the games show. But I did play with 90.4% accuracy in game 2. So I was playing well despite having COVID. That's right. I couldn't even stream properly, and I was suffering from COVID, and yet I still won 3-0 against the Women's International Master. You can see it's still affecting me a little bit. And anyway, we're going to show you 4 games today. 3 against the Women's International Master and 1 other game. So let's get into it, because I've got a lot to show you, okay? All right. So, it's King's Pawn opening from Svetla. E5, Knight F3, Knight C6, and Knight C3. Now, she wants me to play Bishop C5 so she can take the E-pawn, right? So I took it. It was a terrible move. I just realised as soon as I did that, she's going to play Knight takes E5 and get a good game, right? And I thought, oh no, this is ridiculous. So I took a pawn with check. I didn't know what else to do. And then I took a knight. Well, simply D4 is good, right? Okay. And she played it. So I went back, and now she played Bishop E3, and I thought, that's a bit of a weak move. I'm not even threatening. Oh, maybe she was thinking, oh, he might be threatening the pawn with queen checks, right? So, oh yeah, so not a bad move then. That's logical. So I played D6 anyway. And so straight away, I want to get my knight on F6 and check on G4. So I want to play knight here and give her a check. Get my bishop back. I don't want to get to an endgame where Svetla has both bishops. So she played Bishop C4, great developing move. So I thought, well, okay, I can play Knight F6. You know what might be a good move here? Hey, Bishop G5. I'm wondering whether Bishop G5 is actually a good move. Bishop G5, maybe not. No, it's not much good after H6, is it? Okay, right. Let's see. H3 she plays. All right. She just prevents the knight check. So I played Queen E2. That's a bad move. As soon as I played it, I realised how bad that was, because I'm putting my queen on the E file to my king, and I thought, oh gee, that's a bad move. But let's see if she exploits it properly. Oh, she does. Oh my God. So I played H6 because I'm terrified of Bishop G5. And she played Bishop F4. She still wants to push the pawn. But now I've got the queen check. See, if she pushes this pawn, I could take it off and give a check here and win a bishop. Right? So it's not all that clear. So I just castled, and then she realised that. She's a good player. She doesn't miss silly mistakes. Anyway, so she played king back, and I thought, oh, I've got to get my pieces working. So I thought A6. That stops knight here in some variations, where I get a really bad game, you know. But I got a bad game anyway. She played knight D5. Maybe E5 is stronger. I played queen to D8, right? And now it's her move. I like queen to F3 here. Oh no, there's a pawn here, isn't there? Oh well, just maybe even C3 then. Anyway, let's see what she played. She moved the bishop back. Oh, that looks all right. Can't complain about that one. So I played rook e8. And now she played bishop h5, as you do. So I didn't know what to do except this move. Otherwise, she's going to break my king apart with knight takes knight check. So I takes and takes. Now I've got a really bad, weak king. Right? But look at the move rook to f1. It's terrifying. She can't play it just yet, can she? She might be able to even play it now. Rook to f1. I think this move wins. I think this move wins. Rook to f1. It's a simple move. Just threatens bishop takes pawn check. And if I take this one, she just recaptures with the queen. Knight takes, bishop takes pawn check, and takes the rook. Right? So I think that's probably the way to go. Anyway, let's have a look. She played bishop there, and that's a passive move. And I was happy about that. So straight away I thought, well, I'll play my queen over there. If I can keep her rook off the F file, I'm very happy. So she played bishop there. And so what did I do then? I played knight hits bishop. Yeah, I thought that was a bad move. Yeah, so in other words, if she wanted to play something like, she should play c3 first. Right, c3 first, okay. Yeah, so I played knight there. And now she pushed the pawn. Well, now when I assess this position, the way I see it is that I can play the white squares and she can play the black squares. But I must admit my king looks terribly weak. Like if a bishop and queen started lining up here, I might get into a bit of trouble. But I've got to go for it. And she took back with a pawn. Taking back with a queen looks good. She took back with a pawn. And now I've got f5, but I thought, no, I just go for the king. I've got to get open lines. And she pushed there, so I pushed on her bishop. I've got 1 minute and 50 seconds left, and Svetla's got 1 minute 37 seconds left. So she plays bishop d4, and you can't fault that move. That's a great move. It's almost impossible for me to get my queen in here and take that pawn off so I can get the checkmate. Just can't do it. So I played c5. I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just chase the bishop. I don't know what else to do. She took back, I took back, and I thought, well, what do? Just chase the bishop. Now here, we get into a critical stage here, and she played bishop back, and now I'm looking at this position. Oh, hold on. Yes, so she's got bishop there. And now I'm thinking, I think I'm losing this after simply like a rook here and queen takes pawn, right? So I thought I've got to go for a draw. So, oh, bishop b3, that's not good. Oh, she played that weak move, b3. Okay, that's a weak move, it really is. I played king to h2. Now I'm back in the game a little bit. I still have to be wary of queen to f6. Now, I've got to be careful here. I played rook to g8. The whole idea is I want to play queen to g5, and she hit my queen. So I just attacked her queen. And I thought, all right then, I want to go over here and checkmate you. So let's see what you do. You know, she can actually take the pawn with check. Right, she can take a pawn with check, and yeah, she can take the pawn with check, and she's probably got an equal game. But she can take that pawn with check because the king is bottled in, it's trapped. And I've got to give her back the rook and queen after queen takes pawn check, right? Queen check, rook. Oh, so bishop takes queen. Oh, go back. Bishop takes. This is COVID. I'm still suffering from COVID. Bishop takes. Rook takes check. Rook in. Rook takes check. Queen takes. Bishop takes. king takes, and rook here, I imagine, would be the right move. Okay. And then it's not easy for me. Actually, it's not easy. Maybe I could play d5. But she's got rook here. And I'll take that up. She takes pawn with check. And I've got problems. If I go in here, my king's trapped forever. I can't fight with the king. I need to fight with the king somehow. So I've got to play king here. And after pawn takes pawn, I've probably got to play rook here and attack a pawn. So, and rook here will win. There you go. So she's got a winning game. If she plays queen takes pawn check back in this position. So you've got to examine all checks and captures. So when I played queen here, if she plays queen takes pawn check, she wins. Okay? Right. If she changed queens, I took her the rook and I was happy here. I thought, oh, thank God for that. She didn't take the pawn. And now I can go for two rooks and bishops of opposite colour ending, right? So she played rook to f3 and I played rook to g8. Not smart because of rook to f1. It threatens rook takes pawn check again. And then I realised, oh, she's still got rook takes pawn check. Damn. So I thought, well, I'll play rook here and I'll protect the pawn. I'll just admit my mistake. Then she plays rook here and she's threatening rook takes bishop. So what do I do now? Okay. So I play rook here. Okay. Now she can play bishop here, right? And there's rook takes pawn checks on, right? She can play bishop there. That's a good move. Let's see what she does. Rook takes pawn check. Oh, that's not right now. Bishop takes, rook takes check. King back. Now I've got two rooks. Admittedly, she's going to rip off a lot of pawns. So I pushed a pawn because I want to get an open line to the king somehow. Right? Any line I can get. So she pushed the pawn there. That's a big mistake because now I hit the bishop. Right? So even if she just simply took the pawn, I think she was okay. But now she's in big trouble. She moved the bishop back. Now if I take that pawn, well, my rooks are so active now, and that's probably the end of the game. Bishop takes pawn, a rook check, down the back, rook there, rook takes, rook check, king takes, rook hits, right? She went there. Oh, I should play rook takes, bishop check. Now that's a mistake. No wonder I only got 84% accuracy. So rook takes, bishop check. But I only had 39 seconds left. She had 23. So I gave her a check and pinched the pawn. And I played king there, king here, and gave her a check just to get a bit of time, hit the pawn, and then played king here. And she wouldn't have expected that. She was hoping that I'd take the pawn. But of course I didn't do that. And so now I just take the bishop, and that's the end of the game. So that's how we beat Women's International Master SvetlaYordanova of Bulgaria in round 1. And we'll go to round 2 now. Round 2 was a much better game. It was a higher standard by me anyway, despite having COVID. I think I'm just over the worst of it now. I can remember when Gotham Chessy said how it knocked him around, you know. And I'm sure I'm just like him. Right, so we'll go back to the archive. Oh, where are we then? Just got to make sure how many screens I've got open here. This is it. And now we've got round 2. Right, we're presenting 4 games today. 3 against the Bulgarian Women's International Master, title player, SvetlaYordanova. And here we go. This time we've got the white pieces. Last time we had the black ones. We played a very bad opening, remember? C4, E5, knight F3. Knight C6, G3. Doing a bit of Carlsen here. D6, D3, knight F6. Bishop G2. Okay. So I'm just going for the white squares and she's just trying to contain me on the black squares and navigate through the opening safely. So I played knight there. I played a3. The whole idea is I want to play b4, take that bishop. So she prevents me, and that's correct, I imagine. Pin the knight. Point being, I want to, if I can, play knight to d5. So she correctly attacks the bishop. So I take, and knight there, okay. Oh, queen f7. Now, that move is a jolly strange move. In some variations, the fact that the queen's on this line could present a problem with the bishop going to d5, right? So I think queen to d8's a natural move. Let's have a look. E3 I played, and the whole point is, this is where her problems start. She played bishop there. Now there's a pawn fork here. That's a pawn fork, right? So now I attack her bishop, right? And when she takes with the pawn, I don't take with the pawn and attack the bishop. No, I take with the knight. Now she can't play bishop takes knight on d5 because bishop takes bishop will win the queen, trap the queen. That means that that bishop's a bad bishop, right? Also means that I'm threatening knight takes bishop. And she moved her bishop back. She must have thought that I would play pawn takes pawn automatically. She made the mistake of playing an automatic move. And then I just played knight takes bishop, queen takes knight, and knight takes pawn. She's totally busted. Because now her rook is attacked, her queen's attacked, and bishop d5 is playable. So that's the end of the game. So queen there, knight takes rook, rook takes b4. The whole idea is I sacrifice a pawn here, and if she plays pawn takes pawn, pawn takes, knight takes pawn, bishop takes b pawn, and the bishop on a7 falls. So she played knight there. I thought, well, okay, I'll just take a pawn off. That's why I went there. And she played rook there, so I gave her a check and took a pawn off. I'm just going to keep taking material wherever it is. Bottom line is that there's no checkmate here because the bishop's protecting the king really nicely. So there's no checkmates or anything. I don't have to worry about that. All I have to do is get my castle out. So I do that. I just don't worry about the a pawn. Who cares about the a pawn? It's not this pawn that she's got to worry about. It's this pawn. 1, 2, 3, right? Okay. So she played rook there, but the trouble is that she's got to, oh, I had bishop takes rook. I missed it. I've got 2 minutes left. She took a pawn, so I played queen there. I'm still attacking the rook. Then when I saw the rook in the corner, I thought, what are you doing? I just took her rook off and then she resigned. But by then she was just totally shattered. And then she said, oh, can I have one more game? So I thought, all right, I'll give you one more game. I'll be polite. Not every day you get to play a women's international master from Bulgaria. And she was very polite, lovely young lady. So we played another game. So we'll just go back to the archive. And we'll look at the final game between the magician, FIDE Master John Curtis, and Svetla. Right. Okay, here we go. And this time we've got the black pieces again. So I had 2 blacks and 1 white. I've got 2 wins. She played e4. COVID. Still got it. E6, d5. D5, knight c3, pawn takes, knight there, and this is the usual stuff. Normally knight takes, knight checks played, and bishop d3. Yeah, see, it's all book moves. So she played a6. I played a6. God, the COVID's got me. a6. I'm sweating back of my neck. Bishop e7. My voice is going too. Where's the honey? H6. I just want to get rid of that bishop there. I really want to play c5 here. So I played b6 because I thought I can't play c5, too dangerous. So I played there because I couldn't see how she could penetrate there. She played queen e2, so I thought, all right, I'll just put my bishop there. And now in this position, I think it's good for white if white just plays bishop takes f6 and bishop e4. Get a beautiful game as white, okay? But she played this move. So I played queen to d5, right? She hit my queen. So I thought, well, I'll change queens. I like the endgame. So she takes, I took back. So I'm threatening a pawn. I took it off. And I thought, oh, she's having a few blind spots today. It wasn't her day, right? These games are played today. So she played rook c1. And you know what? That's a good move. It puts pressure on my c pawn. And it shows what a weak position my bishop. That's the only move to play as black. Other moves might lose, you know. Maybe bishop f4 could be played. Maybe. She played knight e5. Yeah. If I played bishop f5, she could have played knight e5, threatening g4. So I played knight back here. I thought this was a really good defensive move, right? Because I'm threatening simply knight takes knight. Now she hasn't actually attacked my my c pawn yet, right? She has to make one move to attack my c pawn. But I'm attacking her bishop, right? So she solves the problem with the bishop. So then I took the knight. But now I'm attacking her bishop. I thought, well, if you move your bishop, I'll take your bishop, and we'll have bishops of opposite colours again, right? And she didn't like that. So we got this endgame. Now she's got 6 pawns, and I've got 7. Now, I'm pretty ruthless at endgames, but I did not like this position. I realised that this is not really winnable, I don't think. So I played c5. She played rook there. Now, my intention originally was to go rook here, right? But this move here is too powerful. I'll never win. I'll never, ever win if she gets this move in. I'll never win. So you know what I said? Darling, I will give you the pawn back. So I played rook there. And she played rook takes rook. Maybe I should take with the king. Yeah, I should take with the king. I should probably take with the king. Because I can play rook a7, can't I? And hold my pawns. I should take with the king. But no, I thought I'll take with the rook and have an active rook. So again, equal pawns. But now I've got the rook on the 7th rank. Okay? And so now she's got an extended e-pawn. It's overextended. So she plays h5. And I'll take a pawn off. And now I think black's just winning. She played that move. And I played bishop there. Correct move here is probably pawn here. Pawn here is probably the right move. Let's see what she did. She attacked my bishop. So I moved back there. Now she should play a4. That's the correct way to play the ending, I think. But that's a bad move, right? Because now it's not so easy. I played f6. So I took with the king. I'm trying to mobilise my king, right? I've got 57 seconds, and Svetla has got 54 seconds. So I thought, well, I'm just going to do the fighting king. Watch this. G5. I didn't do it straight away. Had another plan, King E5. Takes. You'll see it happen. Here it comes. See, I waited one move, maybe too long, and then she played king there. So I played rook here. Right, I don't know about that move. I thought king to D4. Oh, I played king to D4. She's got to check. Oh, okay. So I played rook there. On the end, she gave me a high degree of accuracy for this mess. I played king forwards. She can check me and make me go back, but she went back that way. So rook D3 check is probably the best move. It was then I found, wrong move. The correct move must be C4. This would be the best move, right? But I played king C6. So I'm pawn hunting. She went there, and I thought, oh, what do I do now? I could see her coming down here and taking pawns off, or even coming down here and taking this key pawn off, right? So I thought I'll set a trap for her. So here we go. She played rook H8, good move. Then I played this move. You like that one? Now pawn takes pawn, rook takes pawn check. She took with the king. I don't think that's good, because after the check, she's got a problem with the other pawn. So now I get another pawn with check. Right? So she played king there, so I played king back. You think, oh, what would you do that for? Well, this is where I set a trap for her. So she played rook takes pawn. Now I played pawn here. The whole idea is to make sure she can't push that pawn, right? And there's no bishop discoveries, right? She thinks there might be. So she checked me. Now what she's thinking is, if I come here, which I did, she thought, oh, I can just take his bishop, right? Okay. But, and that would probably be a draw in normal circumstances, I suppose. But this is what happened. She took the bishop, but I didn't take her rook, because she would take my rook, okay? Instead, I gave her a check first. That way I keep my rook, and when she goes there, then I can take a rook. And now I've got the exchange up and a passed pawn. And with that, she resigned. So that's 3 wins to Australia and 3 losses to Bulgaria. But we'd like to thank Women's International Master SvetlaYordanova for the opportunity to play her. She was very gallant in stepping up, even though she wasn't playing her best today. Right, and now we've got one more game. Because we all have a bad day, don't we? And so we've got to be fair. We've got to be fair. And now here we go. We've got another game here. I only just played this game today. And this is against Macchiato. He's 23-48. He's an international player. Let's see how it goes. I've got the white pieces, D4, C4. So we've got a Queen's Gambit, East Indian defence, Indian game, E3. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll just play quietly and try to play E4, build up to it. I was very happy with this position because I thought, oh, if he takes the knight, I take back with the knight, and I got a great game. He played there, so I thought, well, I'll chase the bishop. Now, the correct move is to move the bishop back. You don't give up the bishop, right? Takes the pawn, I took, and then he moved bishop there. Well, that's right. So that's probably the way to play it. But bishop E7 might have been better, because now he's got a problem with the E5 move. And he played E5. Now, complicated is pawn here, right? But knight takes pawn seems to be okay. So what do? Well, I don't. Black's trying to control these black squares. So I took the pawn, and then I played queen to C2. I thought, all right, I'll just see what's happening. I know you want to occupy the D4 square, and I just want a castle. So he played knight there, trying to occupy the d4 square, right? So I played bishop there to stop him. So he puts a knight in there because he wants to occupy that square. So I played queen to d2, and I thought, all right, I don't mind. And then he played c5. And he thinks, oh, I've got that square now, Johnny, I've got that square. But look at this move, rook to d1. See? So now I'm saying, well, I'm going to take that knight off if you don't skedaddle out of there. Now, if black plays knight to c6, black's got a very good game, right? There's no problems with black's position. It's probably equal. I've got 6 pawns, he's got 6. But he played rook c8. He thought he was going to be smart. He thought that if I play knight takes knight, you'll take back with the pawn, you'll be on this bishop, right? And you'll win a piece. Wrong, because I calculated different, and I took it off. Now he takes back, now he's attacking 2 bishops, isn't he, right? But look at this. I'm attacking a bishop. Now he's got a problem here. If he takes my bishop on c4, I take his bishop on e5. If he takes my bishop on d4, I recapture with the queen, protect my bishop on c4. So I've calculated a bit better than him, right? So he played queen so I took a bishop. Now he can't take the bishop on c4 because a bishop here wins the rook in the corner, right? So he took that one, and I can't castle because he'll give me a check and take the bishop, right? Okay. So what do you do in a move position like that? Well, you move your bishop, don't you? Okay. So another move that I had in that position was queen to d4. But he might have played queen to g4 and tried to get some little tricks. So I thought, well, my queen's doing a very good job at the moment, where it is. So he played bishop there. So I thought, I'll play king here. And this is a good idea, bishop a6. It's a good idea because I thought, oh, hold on, what's he doing? So he put a few question marks in my mind. And then he played g6. Well, I couldn't see too many problems there. So I just played queen there, and I thought, well, I'll attack your knight and your queen. So how are you going to hold both? Well, you can't. So he played rook there, so I took his queen off, and now I just play rook hits knight. Okay, it's just a little intrusion move, but prepares to double rooks. So it's an attacking move, but prepares to double rooks. So he played knight over there. Now here, in this position, I believe rook here is a knockout blow. A total knockout blow. But I played that one because I thought he can't stop the knockout blow, right? And so he played king there, so I knockout blows coming. And so he played bishop there, and I thought, oh no, knockout blow. So he took a bishop, and now I took a pawn. Now I'm threatening the knockout blow again, right? He played knight there, so I go for the knockout blow. And he, h5. Rook takes pawn check, king there. Now look at this move. Rook takes knight. Missed it altogether. Marciato 64, 2,348, he missed it. Now he's in trouble. He played rook back. So I played h4. Reason for playing h4 is cut his king off and go for the old checkmate again, right? So he played rook there. Okay. So what we do? We play rook here and just pin his pawn. So he played rook there, so I played knight forwards. So he gives me a check, and I don't mind giving him a pawn. And he took it, but now I should be able to finish him off here. But I couldn't see it. I played knight there. Okay, I played knight there. And the whole idea is I want to play rook takes pawn check, right? So he played rook there. And now I played knight here. That's the wrong move, right? I think the best move is rook here. Rook there, threatening a checkmate. Force him to go back, then play knight h3 and g5, and mate can't be stopped, okay? So rook here, rook there, knight here, and now you can't stop knight here and checkmate there, okay? Can't stop it. Right, so, but he's got this move now. I let him out of the box. You know, I played rook there. Again, another mistake. What I should do is just play rook here, control that square and go back in here and mate him again. So I played rook there. I'm threatening a check at the back in some variations. So I'm threatening knight forwards and rook checks. So he played rook there, so I played knight forwards, right? And now he took a pawn with check. I've got 11 seconds, he's got 13. He thinks I might win on time. So I took his rook off and he pushed a pawn and I gave him a check. Oh, he actually put his rook in and allowed a mate. Well, he would have lost anyway. But that was just a decent way of losing, I suppose. Yeah, he could have played king here, I suppose. Just king there. I would have just mated him anyway, some other way. Yeah, so that was a good game, but I only had 10 seconds left. So, interesting game. Oh, no, this way. Yeah, 4.5 seconds left. I had 4.5 seconds left, so. But there you go. So, 4 good games. I hope you enjoyed those, and I'll just say goodbye for now. Don't forget to please click on the thumbs up on the video or subscribe free on YouTube and catch me on Twitch TV Live. I should be all right tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. Still suffering from COVID, but I might be a lot better tomorrow. Okay, so it's bye for now, and it's bye from Grandmaster, you know who, Grandmaster Teddy. Okay, rightio. So I'll see you later, guys. Bye now.